This is going to be a very relaxed, intense talk. So if you got a drink, keep drinking. All right, just keep drinking. Some awesome talks earlier. They were unbelievable. They were unfrickin' believable. Now, I do use language in my talks. A lot. I come from the sports background. A lot. So if it offends you, I really don't give a fuck. All right? So I'm just letting you know. All right, now, speakers yesterday, and you know you got to admit your shortcomings. All smarter than me, all better looking than me. All right, speakers today, all smarter than me, all better looking me, and the last one, great fucking stripper name. Oh my God! Great fucking stripper name. That was why you really got with him. Come on, that's and a pilot suit on. Oh my goodness, it's over. It's over. Forget about all the other stuff. All that other stuff, that was impressive. But that, I was like, man, I can do something with that. Listen, first of all, please give a hand and a thank you to our hosts, John and Kaya. Okay. And everybody else that made this thing happen. Now, let me tell you how I got here. John was at an event I did in Atlanta. I'm in the bathroom. Sitting here. Okay. Come in here. I finish. I turn around, standing John. He looks at me, he goes, impressive. I'm like, shit. Thank you. He goes, no, the book. I'm like, oh, okay. I fucked up my whole day. All right. Now, I will also tell you guys, listen, there's 8 bathroom towels missing. All right. I took 4 out of my room, and I took 4 out of Sherry's room. Those fucking towels are awesome, man. Now, if anybody hasn't taken a bath or shower here, you got to try it. Just listen. You got to try that bath towel. It is, oh, man, it is something else. Now, when I was flying here, I knew there was a lot of pilots here. I didn't know there were this many pilots. All right? I actually learned to fly on the way over here. So we landed from Chicago, and we landed at the airport, and we're switching planes, and we're getting on Cape Air. All right? Get on the plane. The pilot's over there looking. He sits down. We're getting ready to take off. We take off in the air. He opens the window, and he sticks his right hand, left turn. I'm like, oh shit, I'm in fucking trouble. Okay. He takes his bottle, and he sticks it out the window. I think he's chilling his ice glass. I don't know what the hell he's doing. All right. This is what really messed me up. He starts looking at his maps. I'm like, how many times you do this route back and forth? So I'm on my phone. People are thinking I'm texting. Okay? I look at I said, Waze, motherfucker, Waze. This is how I go from here to there. This is follow the direction. Waze. If you don't know where you're going, move. I'll figure this shit out. I will get there. But Waze, I got this. I was just waiting for him to clean the windshield out with his thing, and then we'll be all right. Now, I'm here to bring everything together. All right? And actually, this event is, I've never heard these speakers before. And I like to go to these events because I pick up a lot of stuff. That's why I come in early and I try to stay as late as possible. All right? Valerie, some of the stuff that you had said, listen, for every guy in here, she gave every single one of us an out. Every single guy in here, we have a out. Think about it. Think about it. Every time we screw up, my frontal lobe isn't developed. That's it. We are going to get you a GIF or a meme. So every time we screw up, say, listen, and then, oh, hey, if we're laying around the house, we're watching a baseball game or sitting there, we're not doing anything, we're sitting back and say, listen, it's not our fault, it's my fucking ancestors' fault from 2 million years ago. Okay? You don't believe me? Ask her. It's not the boys, you can ask a woman. Here, call her. Call her. So I'm good. I'm good. If I had this information earlier, I'd still be married. I'd still be married. Be no problem. Be like, man, I was like, this is freaking perfect. This is freaking perfect. So that's why I see, you got to pick up the little things. You got to pick up the things. Just these little important detailed things that make all the freaking difference. All right, so let's get on with it. I like to talk about things. Why are you here? Okay? This is going to be a lot of audience participation. We've been sitting for a long time. We've been sitting for a long time. All right? Why are you here? Okay. Huh? To learn, that's an easy answer. Okay. Why are you here?
To share.
Share, great.
To get better, to improve.
Okay. Anybody else? Just spit it out. Listen, I don't have to point, just spit it out. Listen.
To report.
To report. Perfect. Okay. Anybody else?
Stop doing stupid shit.
Okay.
That too.
You got the wrong fucking person on stage for that. Anybody else?
Take some risks.
Take some risks. Okay? Before you can get anywhere, before you can do anything, everyone always tells you want to know why. But understand why you're here. Wherever you go, when you wake up in the morning, whatever you do, understand why you are here. Are you here for yourself? Are you here for others? Are you here for your family? Why are you here? It sounds like a simple question, but you get different answers from everybody that you see out there. All right? You know, the people like to talk about what's your purpose. Purpose is something that goes a long way. All right? But every day when you get up, you need to know why you're here. Why you're here. And it could be simply as, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to make a difference in the world. It could be a different answer every single day. It could be the same answer every single day. It's unique to each individual here. But you need to understand exactly what that is. If you don't understand why you're here, you're never going to be able to do what she did, what he did, she did, with everybody in here. You're always just going to be going in the same place over and over and over again. What do you do? Consulting. Mike, what do you do?
I coach people.
Okay. What do you do? Mm-hmm.
Teach a martial arts school.
Okay. Steve, what do you do?
Investor.
Investor. Okay. Valerie, what do you do?
Make people happier and more successful.
Thank you very much. Okay. Your job is not what you do. Your job is not what you do. All right? What do? What do I do? He said, give that one thing. What is that one thing you put on your sheet? That little domino. All right. What is the one thing I do? I get the end result. I get the end result. You can throw anything at me, any way, what it is, I'm going to get you the end result. That's what I do. So when somebody asks you, what do you do? Don't define it as, I raise money, I consult. That's not what you do. Right? You give young women an opportunity. Give them a chance to believe in themselves. Give them a chance to smile. Okay? You make dreams come true. You show women that as fucked up as a situation was sometime, I survived and you can stay on top. All right? You show them that the life is too fucking complex. Okay? You give everybody an out of jail card. Okay? What do you do? Now, in order to reach those different levels of thinking, the way people act and so forth, you need to think a little bit uniquely about who you are, how to survive, and how to make things happen. All right? You got up earlier a couple of days ago. The one thing I do is I listen quite a bit. I don't hear so well, but I listen quite a bit. All right. You said, you're not crazy. You're fucking nuts. Okay. You don't do what you did in life at your age, start a company with very little money, sell it for a shitload of money, buy this place if you're not off. Okay? You don't get on a plane and go around the world, go through that checklist, go with a stack of papers that high if you think like everybody else. All right? You don't teach people how to deal with fear and got that close to death with a staph infection from a dirty fucking gym you were working out in. Okay? All right? You know? Unless you don't think like everybody else. Now, there isn't a single person in this room, all right, when he was telling his stories, that didn't think, that's a crazy motherfucker right there. Okay? The best part about it, the whole thing, he videotaped his fingers being fucking chopped off. He's like, hey! Did you roll him on the dice? Put some dice there? I mean, I'm just saying, like, hey, listen, I'm good. He's, he's figuring out the tell. You go to the manicure and say, hey, you charge for 10 now. I only got 7. Do I still get the punch card after 10, or do I have to go a little bit longer? No, listen, I know I'm being funny here, but I'm just trying to say, ordinary people You don't do extraordinary things by thinking like everybody else. And society tells you to think like everybody else, be like everybody else, act like everybody else. And you know what my motto is? Fuck everybody else. It really is. All right? I would have not had the opportunity to train the greatest athletes in the world if I thought and acted like everybody else. If my methodology was the same like everybody else. If I followed the paths that my parents wanted me to follow. Okay. Both my parents are Indian. Okay? So in the Asian culture, it's either a doctor, or it's a lawyer. That's it. There's no other options. Okay? It's either you play the piano or you play the violin. That's it. All right? I got accepted to medical school. Told my dad I was not going. Beat the shit out of me. Really. Right? Still not going. What are you going to do? I'm going to train professional athletes. You're going to be a gym teacher? I'm going to train professional athletes. That's what I'm going to do. All right? How many people in this room to this day have you held your ground against anybody in here? Anybody that you know said, I'm not going to do this. No matter how much they push you, no matter how they tell you, this is what you're going to do. This is the way it's going to be. Now, when you step out like that, you got to deliver. You have to deliver. If I didn't deliver, we got a problem. What's great about every speaker that was here, they all delivered. They all delivered. She couldn't understand. I'm the best attorney in this place, and I got fired for giving the right answer. For giving the right answer. Not the wrong answer, for the right answer. I'm billing more than everybody in the office combined, but the person doesn't like me because my answer is correct, but I'm not giving it to them fast enough. What did you guys do that I do with all my athletes? You paid attention to every frickin' detail. You pay attention to every frickin' detail. You paid attention to every frickin' detail. When people say don't sweat the small stuff, sweat everything. Every little detail matters. So when I started working with Michael way back in the day, we didn't have the technology we had now. All right? You know, everyone's got the Fitbits and so forth. Go home, go watch a basketball game, get done with the basketball game. I'm about to let everybody know what my age is right now. All right? Get a Betamax tape. Okay?
Superior technology.
Yes. Well, stick it in there. Record. Have the game recording. Why? Not to watch the highlights. I needed to count how many steps he took in every direction, every single game, so I could set the workout up for the next day. Left, right, forward, back. Did he jump off of one leg? Did he land on two legs? Which way did he go? Everything like that. Every detail mattered. every single detailed matter. People thought I was crazy. Why is it important? Well, guess what? After 7 years, if I know that he's landed X amount of times on the left leg and he's only landed X amount of times on the right leg, which one's most likely to go first? So I have to plan for all that stuff, but the planning didn't start. I can't wait 10 years into his career. I have to do this stuff now. I have to do it now. So when you said there was a part of luck of grabbing the right rope, knowledge allowed you not to grab the wrong one. Your preparation that you put in, you had already completed. I look at those things that you guys did, the flights, selling of the company, everything that you've done. I can't even think of it. He probably did some shit in the break before we didn't even know about it.
I tried, she said no.
Yeah, she said no. It doesn't happen now. He talks about the planning of the things. It has happened years before that. The training, the physical training, the mental preparation, the studying. Game-winning shots that are hit by champions don't happen in that moment. They've happened many years before that. You call it base, I call it zone. The only way you can do what you did, how many days? 18 days. How long were you up there? Everest.
56 days.
You got to be in the zone. You got to be in the zone. And you know what the zone's about? The zone's about clarity. How many individuals in here do you really have clarity? When I talk about the two messages that I talked about earlier, why are you here? What do you do? You need to have exact clarity on those two things if you're going to get anywhere. Otherwise, you're not. I hear these motivational talks. They come in, and this is what I loved about this. This wasn't a fucking pep rally. This was not a pep rally. You get a lot of speakers that come on stage, they fire you up, and they get you all charged up, and everyone's all high-fiving each other, and they're giving each other hugs and so forth, and let's go. Well, where the fuck are we going? Where are we going? That's like your friends that come over and tell you it's going to be okay. That's the best you got? You know what that means? You're fucked. If there's a plan put into place, they had every single option for everything that could have possibly gone wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. You thought of everything that could have fucking gone wrong. Everything. And then some shit she just made up along the way. All right? Same thing with yourself. When you were negotiating those securities contracts back then, every possible scenario you thought up, and then you made some up on the way because you didn't reach your billing hours. I got to stick this stuff in there. Okay. Stick it in there. All right? You have to think the way everybody else doesn't. Otherwise, you're just going to produce ordinary results. You're just going to produce ordinary results. And the world is full of ordinary people. Full of ordinary people. You know how they love to say, greatness is inside all of us. Yeah, you know what? It is true. Greatness is inside all of us. But for most individuals, that's where it stays. That's where it stays. You know why people aren't successful? Because they're afraid of success. Because what happens once you get to success? All the stuff you have to keep doing to stay there. What do you have to do to keep going? The amount you got to keep challenge yourself for the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. When my guys don't win one championship trophy, it's not enough. It's not enough. You know, we're in Boston. You think Tom Brady wanted to only win one Super Bowl ring? The guy was drafted 199. There's not a single person in this room right now that can't run a faster 40 than he ran at the combine. Okay. 199. All right. Now this is where this is going to go. He could have taken that and said, woe is me. Or he can take it and say, watch me. Everyone in life has a situation at some point. You either become the victim or it catapults you. Every single individual. Every single one. I had mine when I was 4 years old. 4. My parents came over. Mom, nurse practitioner for 45 years. Dad, PhD in physiology and anatomy. Came to the States. They told him his education doesn't allow him to teach here. All right, so I said, well, what job do you have? What job do you have? He goes, we have a job at the university. This was Northwestern University as a degreaser. Okay. The title, job description of a degreaser is, it was lab coordinator and degreaser. All right. Everyone can figure out what a lab coordinator is. Set the lab up. Degreaser. After you get done with the semester of anatomy and physiology, you have the cadavers. They're filled with formaldehyde. After the class gets done, after the quarter's over with, semester's over it, you have to dispose of the body. Even though I am in Chicago and there are a lot of bodies that are just thrown in the dumpsters and the garbage people do take them, there is a right. Back then, this was the proper way to get rid of them. When the body is filled with fluid, it weighs about 400 or 500 pounds. Right. You're supposed to throw it in a furnace and take the ashes out and dispose of the ashes. Now, my dad is 5'1", was 5'1". He passed away a couple of years ago. 120 pounds. He's not picking up the bodies. All right? So he has to dismantle them. Piece by piece. To be able to throw them in the furnace. All right? We can't afford babysitters. My mom works a night shift. My dad works the day shift. We get a day off of school. Guess where we're going? My brother and I. We're going to work with my dad. Remember, this is before HR regulations and all that shit. They didn't know. Go to work with my dad. You coming from the old country. You're not sitting around. You're going to work. You're going to work. I was the original fucking Dexter. Okay? I was the original Dexter. So we're looking at it as my brother and I, if we can get out of here, we can enjoy some of the day. All right? My brother's got one bone saw. I got the other bone saw. At age 4. We're chopping the shit out of people. Boom, 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 taking the stuff in, going on this. All right? That was my job from the 4th grade until I graduated high school. You do whatever you need to do to survive. You don't bitch that, hey, I'm a PhD, I'm a doctor, I'm too good for this. Some people just figure things out. He didn't have any practice. I didn't talk to anybody. Everybody said, "Oh yeah, listen, I'm gonna go climb this mountain. I'm not gonna have any O2." You don't go to Planet Fitness to train for that. It doesn't work. So along the way, what did you? You figured shit out. When you landed at that airport, they said you landed at the wrong airport, you figured stuff out. This event was scheduled a year ago. A year ago. Didn't happen. What'd you do?
Schedule it didn't happen. Figured shit out.
Okay? You figured shit out. Some people have the ability to figure stuff out. And those are the ones that say, watch me. And the people that don't are your victims, never figure things out. They just don't. And I love how everybody says, yes, that's why I said when I talk about the motivation talks, everyone's going to be a success. Greatness is inside of you. Yes, you can do it. We all know that there's a very small percentage that actually can. But it sounds so good to tell people all this stuff. Because it makes you feel good. It makes them feel good. We lie to people every single day. Every single day. All right. Ladies, when you went out with a group of your girlfriends and one of them said, "Do I look good in this?" What did you tell them? Yeah, they do. And then after they left, you got on the phone. Girl, did you see what the hell she had on? Guys, we do the same thing. The one thing that people have a problem with me is I'm the same person all the time. I'm the individual that says, it's not me, it's you. This is why you're not getting to where you need to be. This is what you need to do to change. This is what has to happen. What do you ask for in a relationship? It's the first thing everybody always asks for. Honesty. Then when somebody's honest with you, you get pissed off at them. Right? You get pissed off at them. You can't win if you lie. You can't tell if you tell the truth. Everybody looks for honesty, honesty, honesty. But then when you're honest with a person, then the feelings get in the way. So you sugarcoat the feelings. You sugarcoat the truth. And it just continues to go on and on and on and on. I have a saying. Your best friend shouldn't be so friendly. Because if your best friend, all they do is tell you it's going to be okay, it's going to be fine, everything is good. No, it's not. No, it's not. I had the job of telling the greatest athletes in the world. Now remember, they got pretty big entourages. You messed up. You fucked that play up. Why'd you do that in practice? Here's a problem that we have in a lot of our workforces now. All right? We want to motivate individuals. We want to inspire them. But we also want to hold them accountable. Very difficult to do. Very, very difficult to do. Accountability in yourself is the most important thing. It's the most important thing. 4 stories today of greatness. You know, and the doctor left already. I actually wanted her number because anytime I had to negotiate a deal, I didn't talk to her. Call her. Think about what people are capable of doing. Her side gig, what she does for fun on the weekends, is surgery on kids. That's her side hustle. That's her side hustle. Not her main thing. That's her side hustle. You know, I'll go to medical school. And you know what? By the way, I'll negotiate some treaty over here, this hostage situation, and all the way. Oh, by the way, I got to be back. That's what the body and humans are capable of doing. But only if you're accountable to yourself. Only if you're accountable to yourself. You get what you tolerate. If you tolerate mediocrity, you're going to get mediocrity. If you tolerate excellence, you're going to get excellence. But we worry too much about what everybody else thinks, what they're saying, and so forth. I'm going to give you a great example, all right? Steve, can I have you come up on stage, please? Ex-powerlifting champion. That's why I'm bringing him up on stage. All right? You got 135 pounds on the bar. You're going to deadlift it. All right? Deadlift it for me. Just like if there's 135 pounds. All right. All right? Put it down. What's the most you ever deadlifted?
670.
670. I saw somebody got a little car over there, so come on, let's go. All right. Accountability. You got 650 on the bar now. There's 650 pounds on that bar, all right? I want you to go through the exact motion, exact routine, exact sound, everything you make. All right? Smelling sauce, I don't know, somebody kicks you in your nuts first, they slap you around, what do they do? Whatever it is. It's there. facial expression didn't change. Who talked about earlier about, I can't remember, I've been taking so many damn notes. Poker face. Who talked about the poker face?
The tells.
Yes,
Yeah.
the tells. Thank you. Thank you. All right? Your greatest achievers have the least amount of tells. By the time you see them coming, it's too late. When you're training your Navy SEALs and you're training them, what do you tell them? By the time they see you coming, if they see you, you're in trouble. If they see you, you are in trouble. So all the work that you put behind the scenes, all the work that you put that people don't see, all the hours that you put in to take that company public, for all the hours you put in to be able to put that special report out on the athletes that you deal with. Whatever you guys are discovering at MIT next. So all I know is MIT spelled backwards is Tim. And here's the messed up thing about that. I just figured that out today. I just figured it out today. I just figured it out today. All right? Hey, listen. I'm smart in a lot of things. I'm really freaking slow in others. All right? Accountability. You can't ask others to be accountable if you're running a business, if you're running a team, you're running an organization, if you're not accountable to yourself first. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Give Steve a hand. Now, let's get on this little slide. Now, listen, I'm supposed to go for 90 minutes. I know we've been at this an awful long time, so I may cut it a little bit short because we got a young lady that's going to do some special painting. I have lunch tomorrow also, so if you're going to stick around, we can talk about some more then. All right? What I loved about what I saw, everything that came through, is everyone gave my speech for me already. They basically did. Everything I talk about, it's real life. You don't have to agree with it, but there are tons of examples out there. I constantly post stuff on my Instagram, say, see? I don't even train this individual. I don't even know this person. Here's an example. All right? I don't make this stuff up. I do not make this stuff up. Excellence is lonely. All right? You were on the plane. You and the co-pilot. Excellence is lonely. On the boat. With a dolphin. With a smelly whale. You know why the whale looked at you? Because your nuts were fucking hanging out. That's why. That's why. He's like, shit, I thought I had big balls swimming. This guy's fucking going back and forth. I got to look at this shit. You know? All right. In the office from 9:30 a.m. till 3 a.m. at night. Excuse me. I just insulted her. Okay? I just insulted her. Excellence is lonely. All right. John was just telling me you're writing a book. Just finished it?
Yeah.
You were over here, right? You were somewhere in here? Yeah. For a month?
No, less than that.
Okay. Excuse me, 29 days. Fucking guy, man. You know, the guy tells you, what's your resting heart rate? 29.8.75. No. Details. All right. Excellence is lonely. People don't like to talk about this stuff. when you're selling your company, okay, you're raising money, all right? You're helping startups. It's not a fucking party. Excellence is lonely. It's going to require late nights, early evenings, very few friends. And that's what stops a lot of people. We go our whole lives trying to fit into a certain group. Make sure our kids go to the right schools. Make sure we're part of the right fraternity. Make sure we hang out with the right individuals. When they go to the colleges, make sure you're in this clique, you're in this clique. And the things that set us apart are things that require us to succeed on a very lonely stage. Not only physically, but mentally. Kobe Bryant, in one of the Olympics, Coach K came up to him and said, Kobe, you are going to get wide open shots. Kobe goes to Coach, what the fuck you been smoking, man? I ain't had a wide open shot in my career. He goes, no, the offense we're going to be running, he goes, you're going to be, plus the talent that we have with LeBron, Wade, and all them, he goes, you shot in the corners will always be open. Will always be open. Says, Kobe comes to me, he goes, I don't shoot shots from the corner. All right. The next day, this is a week after the season's over with. We're in the gym. 500 shots made from one corner, 500 shots made from the other corner. The afternoon, 500 shots made from one corner, 500 shots made from the other corner. The evening, 500 shots made from one corner, 500 shots made from the other corner. Now you know why I walk the way I fucking walk. Chasing the basketball around all over the place. There's nobody else in the gym. There's nobody else in the gym. For stuff that they do, you don't find a workout partner. You don't have a workout partner that comes in and says, hey, let's sit in the office from 9:30 in the morning till 3 at night reading documents. That's a great fucking idea. You don't get a line of people to do that. You don't get a line of people that say, hey, listen, what's the temperature of where you climbed at?
Everest?
Wherever. Everest, Alaska. Minus 40. Minus 40. How many people want to hang out at minus 40? Right? Forgive me for this. Your wife don't even want to hang out at that not minus 40. Oh, I'm good. She didn't fly a 747. A private jet. I got to ask you, where'd you pee? Because everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. Everybody wants to know. Where'd you pee?
You gotta believe me.
I believe you. You didn't.
I didn't. My co-pilot did. He did more than that, and I caught him.
He did more than that.
How long was it? You didn't pee for how many days?
No, 10 hours at a time.
Oh, 10 hours at a time. Oh, okay. I was about to say. That's I got to run to the bathroom. No. Just, I'm trying to tell you, this is just the things that people have to do. Other thing, being misunderstood. Being misunderstood. Okay? I'm going to teach people how not to be afraid. I'm going to, from a chemical standpoint, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do, how the brain happens. I'm going to study this. This is what's going to do. You're going to tell somebody that. I'm going to teach you how not to be afraid. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Okay? Being misunderstood. I'm going to sell a company for a lot of money, and I'm going to buy this place in Martha's Vineyard and throw an event. Yeah, smart idea. Smart idea. Right. I'm going to go ride a bicycle on a sheet of snow so I can hang vests. Because something that's dear to me. Fucking people won't go out to check their mail when the temperature drops below 30. So when somebody tells you you're crazy and you're a little bit off, don't argue with them. Tell them fucking thank you. Tell them thank you. Because you have the ability, you know what craziness is? Is the ability to see things that other people can't see. That's all crazy is. It's the ability to see things that other people can't see. He saw his death. Let's keep it real. He saw his fucking death. If I take this fucking nap, I'm going to fucking die. I'm going to die. Being misunderstood, questioning your sanity is a good thing. It's a great frickin' thing. No one's done anything exceptional in life without being called crazy, without being called nuts. Stay away from him. Stay away from her. Different scares people. Different scares people. So everybody wants to stay in that little group. The tags, that labels that people give us are some of our greatest frickin' fuel. It's our greatest frickin' fuel. But we use it the wrong way. We use it the wrong way. So many of us are looking for external motivation, external things to keep us going. What's the difference between feedback and criticism? What's the difference between feedback and criticism?
How you receive it.
It's exactly the same fucking thing. Exactly. It's how you hear it. It's exactly the same thing. All right. Who works for somebody in here? Come on up on stage, my friend. Yes. What's your name?
I'm Andy.
Andy, pleasure. Nice to meet you. You can go back now. No, I'm just fine. All right. So you're at work, and your boss comes up to you. All right, I'm your boss. All right. HR department's closed. All right, just let you know. All right, take your hands out your pocket and make me nervous. All right, cool. Andy, what the fuck did you do?
I don't know.
Feedback or criticism? Okay. How did he take it? All right, immediately. Offensive. I don't know. All right. Ask me the same question. Are you allowed to curse, first of all? Okay, I just want to make sure.
Tim, what the fuck did you do?
I did exactly what the fuck you told me to do. Watch what happens. Okay? Okay? You own up to the situation. You own up to the situation. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Give him a hand. Okay? Accountability, responsibility. The best conversations I've had, as you can probably tell, I don't have a whole lot of friends, is with myself. Is with myself. I've rewritten this speech 8 times already. Because every time I learned something from, I had a completely different speech when I got off the plane. I heard the speakers yesterday speak, switched my speech all up. I heard the speakers speak today. I switched it up again. I do not have a canned speech. People come in, they just speak. Here it is. Everything I'm telling you comes from here. I'm not the most polished person out there. I will never be. But when you asked, what's the one thing I do? I get that end result. And I guarantee it, when I get done in here, my end result was going to be, you're going to have every single emotion possible. You're going to laugh. You're going to cry some. You're going to be angry at me. And you're going to be angry at yourself. Because nothing great is going to happen if you're only pissed off at everybody else. Who's ever watched Bill Belichick at a press conference? All right? After a loss, which very rarely happens, they're already telling everything they're telling him. You don't think he's already played in his head 1,000 times already? He's more pissed off at himself than any other question. He's more accountable to himself than anything else. 2 Super Bowls ago, when Tom Brady, correct me if I'm wrong here, set the record, even though they lost, set the record for most yards in a Super Bowl and all this other stuff. And I got a chance to hang around these guys because I don't work with Tom, all right, but his association with the clients that I have. All he ever talks about, I dropped that fucking ball. all he ever talks about. I dropped the ball. Excellence is lonely. His accountability to himself, criticism, feedback, all the work about the hard work, questioning your insanity, being your own hype person. You got to be your greatest cheerleader. When you're writing your book, when you're on the plane, there's nobody over there patting you on the back. There's nobody, you're not looking at your Facebook page for likes and so forth. Right? You got one call or what? How often? Once. Once. To his family. To his family. Who's his hype person? He is. He's not throwing on Tony Robbins. There's your greatest athletes, your greatest individuals. They're their best hype people. You never see them have to charge them. You know when they do events, motivational stuff, that's for their employees. That's not for them. They're already self-wired. They're self-taught, self-educated. They keep learning over and over and over and over again. Every single trip you take, every special force that you work with, different needs, different thoughts, different activities. It's not like he can train for one thing. I'm not the smartest fucking guy in the world, but I know rowing a boat is completely different than riding a bike on an ice and climbing up a mountain. The routine changes all the time. But accountability to himself, excellence is lonely. Being your own hype person, understanding that. Okay? What do you do? You make a difference. What do you do for a living, if I may ask?
I'm an airline pilot.
You're an airline pilot, okay. Understand what your purpose is. And understand what you do to make money. It's not the same. It's not the same. This one I love. Pressure is a privilege. Okay? Who works out here? Pretty much almost everybody. I can see that. How do you make your muscles grow? How do you get them stronger?
Breaking them down.
Stress, pressure, resistance, right?
Recovery.
Okay, recovery, yes. All right, it's a very smart group here. All right. When somebody's bleeding, how do you stop it from bleeding? Put pressure on it, right? Who's got come on, Kay. I'll help you up because of her condition.
Thank you.
Okay?
Married to John?
All right? Nice shiny thing right here. A diamond. How was that thing made? Pressure, right? Why in the fuck are we always running from it? Why are we always running from pressure? You know what pressure gives you the ability to do? Thank you so much. Be careful, please.
Thank you.
All right. What does pressure allow an individual to do? All right? Pressure makes you more talented. We agree on that? Pressure makes you more talented. All right? Makes you more intelligent. It makes you more competitive. The one thing I've noticed about this room, we some competitive SOBs in here. Everybody is competitive. And what else competitive pressure does? It makes you more freaking resilient. It makes you more resilient. There's not a single individual in this room that doesn't want to be more talented, more intelligent, more competitive, and more resilient. You know, I love how people say if you fall down, you need to get back up. He had a great example about this, about the mines. All right? You know how they say, you hear this all the time, and this is the shit that drives me. Oof. You know, this is when speakers come up and talk about, you gotta have passion, and you gotta want it, and all that other stuff. You can look that shit up on YouTube. You don't have to come all the way out here and sit for that. Next time I hear a speaker talk about passion, I'm gonna fucking stab him in the fucking blood gush out. If I had the carry stance and do like this and just, all right. It just, people give you the same messages over and over and over again, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. When I talk about being relentless, and which is up in here, all right, how many times have you guys heard this? Everybody, relax, take it easy, have some fun. Being relentless for majority of the people here is the way to relax, is the way to have fun, is the way to keep your blade sharp, is the way to stay competitive. You didn't buy this place to relax. All right? Don't tell me you bought this place to relax. No. The amount of work, the ideas, the brain trust that has to go in here, the different things. Pressure is a privilege. Everybody wants to sit in that first seat till you sit in that first seat. Until you sit in that first seat. Everybody's seen the shot that, whether you're a basketball fan or not, you saw Michael Jordan, the shot against Cleveland, way back earlier in his career. All right. Story behind that is Doug Collins was the coach at the time. All right. Now, Michael had played extremely well to get to the team to that point. All right, so Doug Collins draws up this play. Says, Scotty, you take the ball out here. You're over here, Michael, da-da-da, and so forth. They got this elaborate play drawn up. All right. Michael comes out of the huddle and says, hey, man, give me the ball and get the fuck out the way. If we're going to win this game, I'm going to win this game. If we're going to lose this game, I'm going to lose this game. I'm not putting it in anybody else's hands. I am not putting it in anybody else's hands. Who else flew that plane?
Me and sometimes Shane.
Okay. How often did he fly?
Maybe 20 minutes out of 10 hours.
20 minutes out of 10 hours. Why do you have to fly those 20 minutes?
I had to go wake myself up, stretch behind the fuel tank.
Okay. If you didn't have to wake yourself up and you didn't have to stretch, would he have flown those 20 minutes? I'm not leaving it in anybody else's hands. And those were her most nerve-wracking 20 minutes because she was not in control. Can you imagine planning all those things up to that stage and then having to put it in somebody else's hands for even that short period of time? To get that far in that acquisition that you were talking about, to get that close, and then let somebody else take it over or finish that job? Oh yeah, I can do that. No, you can't. I'll be the first one to admit. LeVar calls me on one of his trips, I ain't answering the phone. I ain't answering the phone. Okay? There's more people swiping left and right when he fucking calls than anybody else on there. He's on the robo list. He's like, man, no. I'm driving you to the airport. Nope. Nope. Can you help me carry my bags? Nope. Pressure is a privilege. Pressure defines you. When you choose what company you're going to invest in, who you're going to deal with, how important is it for them to be able to handle that pressure? Big. It's big. All right. Where's our host? Where'd he go? Oh, he just took off? Oh, fuck, like his baseball career. The fuck? All right. I was about to pat him on the back and give him a great example and everything. All right, I still will. All right, listen. I told you I don't have any friends. Now you know why. All right? Who in here thinks they can hit a major league pitch? I'm talking about a real one.
Knuckleball?
Anything. Exactly. And then what do? You sit on TV all the time when a quarterback messes. Oh, man, I could do that. No, you can't. No, you can't. All right. I pick up a basketball game, and these were some very talented guys. They were short, one player. And I played college basketball. All right. There were 9 pros out on the court and me. 9 NBA players and me. You ever see that thing, look at the one piece that doesn't belong? Even if you didn't know basketball, you'd be like, what the fuck's he doing out there? Even if you said, you know what somebody said? It was like, man, he really loves a sport. You know what their comment was? Man, that sport don't love him. So before you jump on somebody and criticize them and think you can do this and you can put yourself in those situations, understand what the pressure does. It defines who those individuals are. I'm going back to the fingers over here. We got people in here that can't fucking stand a fucking hangnail. My job with my athletes, and you've seen this on the videos, okay? I've had to pop fingers, shoulders, and dislocated knees back into place so they can go back into the game. Winning matters to these individuals. Competing matters. Pressure matters. How many individuals here have been told we need more balance in our life? Got to have more balance. Well, got to have more balance. All right. Let me tell you something right now. There's no such thing as balance. You don't find balance. You create balance, and it's different for every individual in here. And if you don't believe me, look at this couple right here. He can do what he does because she does what she does. That's how you create balance. You know how always they talk about this, and listen, if you have these things, and listen, you don't have to agree with everything I say. I don't have any problem with that. I really don't. All right? You know how they say, find the yin and the yang. Find somebody that's the completely opposite of you, so they balance you out. I totally disagree with that saying. Find somebody who's just as fucked up as you are. That's the key to a long-lasting relationship. All right? When I went to work to Michael said on the first day, he goes, how do I know this is going to work? And that's exactly what I told him. I said, I am as fucked up as you are. I said, I know how obsessive you are. I know how badly you want to win. I know how important this is to you. If you listen to what everybody else has been telling you all this time, over and over and over again, I've said this before, you are going to be just like everybody else. And you know what people do when they try to get closer to balance? What do? You add more stuff, you add more stuff, you add more stuff, you add more stuff. Getting closer to balance is not about adding more stuff. It's about letting stuff go. It's about letting stuff go. You talked about letting go yesterday, correct? Yes. All right. Talk about letting go. All right. She's talking about letting go some major stuff in order so you can move forward in your life. We got people sitting in this audience that can't get rid of an article of fucking clothing. You got suits, dresses, and stuff in your closet that you ain't never gonna wear, ain't been able to wear in 20 years, and it's still sitting there. How in the hell are you gonna let go of something major that's holding you back in life if you can't do that? Here's an exercise for everybody right now. All right, take out your cell phones. I want everybody right now to delete a number and contact out of the phone that you've been wanting to do for such a long time.
Do they have to be alive?
Huh? What's that?
Do they have to be living?
No, they can be dead. That's all right. John. It's spelled Grover. Now be honest. That felt good, didn't it? It wasn't easy, but it felt good. It felt good. The way you get to balance is you got to start letting go. There's not a single person in this room, including myself, and this will go a long way with what you talk about with fear. There isn't a habit or an individual you need to get rid of out of your life.
I just let LaBelle go. Oh, yeah, do it back.
There isn't a habit or an individual that you've been wanting to get rid of for a long frickin' time. That's causing you everything he talks about. You know, this is where I talk about, where everybody talks about balance. All right? Who wants a zero life? Raise your hand. All right? Who wants, if you're in business, who wants zero clients? Who wants zero happiness? Who wants zero success? Who wants zero love? What's the number on a perfectly balanced scale? It's a fucking zero. So if you're busy out there trying to balance everything, that's what you're going to get in return. I'm telling you, it's the truth. It's the truth. And people have made millions of dollars telling you you need to balance stuff. You need to balance stuff. You know how everybody tells you, and you can tell me if this is correct, all right? The people with the smarter psychology than me are, basically everybody in this room, all right? Everybody always tells you, this is what I did to get here. This is what I did to get here. This is what I did to get here. You know where I got to, how I got to where? It's what I didn't do. It's what I didn't do that got me to this spot. When I was in college, man, Tim, come to this fraternity party. Come hang out with us. No, I'm good. Come here. This same guy. This literally went on for 3 years. Man, we never see you here. We never see you at the club. We never see you at this party. We never see you at this person's house. We never see you there. You know what I finally said to him? I said, hey, man, I never see you at the bank. All right? It's what I didn't do that allowed me to be here. We have some very successful people in this room. Very successful. All right? This is how I know. This is how I knew when Michael had made it. All right? When we first started, we used to drink wine. This was go to the local liquor store, screw the cap off, pour it in. Go to a nice restaurant, buy a bottle of wine, they bring the bottle, they pour it to you. Then, some guy brings a bottle of wine, he pours it in something, then they pour it into your glass. I'm not a wine connoisseur, I don't know. I just know the shit tastes good, and you promised me that we're gonna be drinking something good tonight. That's all I know. If I can pronounce it, it ain't good. All right? You know, every restaurant and every bar, you have your well drinks, You have your next level of drinks, and then you have your top shelf drinks. You know they got shit behind there you can't even fucking pronounce? What I'm trying to say is there's always another level. There's always more. Now you were thinking, who was the one that asked the question? What has he done next? Was that Andy? Wasn't that you? All right. LeVar, when he asked him what was next, I thought he was going to rattle off one thing. Oh yeah, da 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 da. Shit, he could have came back up and gave another fucking talk. He was kept going. You know why? There is no bar. There's no bar. For him, there is no bar. For Patrick, there's no bar. For Mike, there's no bar. For Steve, there's no bar. For the greatest athletes, Tom Brady, there is no bar. Because when you put a bar out there, you're putting limitations on yourself. That's why I said all the stuff that's supposed to motivate you, that's supposed to get you inspired, that's supposed to get you to these next levels, they're actually messing with your head. They're holding you back. All right, I'm going to make this one the last one. All right, because mind over feelings. The reason I was asking, we'll get back to that one real quick. I'm sorry that the doctor had to leave. You think in her line of business, what do you think is stronger? Her feelings or her mind? In negotiations and what she's doing, what she's got going on, if her feelings got in the way, every bad decision most individuals make involves more feelings than their mind. Every bad business decision you've made, all right, every relationship decision, bringing me here, all right, your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. All right. Everyone talked about a morning routine. They talked about their morning routine. And, you know, everyone talks about, you know, I've been doing the cold shower for a long frickin' time. All right. You know, you brought some other stuff to me that I had forgotten about from the science standpoint. Thank you very much. I have a hard time with meditation. I really do. I have a very difficult time. Now, personally, and I'm not saying this is wrong or this is right, but this what works for me. All right? So when I get out of bed, I do look at my phone. I'm going to admit it. I do look at my emails, my texts, my competition, all that other stuff. Michael did the same thing. Kobe does the same thing. All the time they don't read the stuff. And I tell you why. And I ask them why. All right? Because everything that's said about them, positive or negative, they use for fuel. self-charged individuals, you can say whatever the hell you want to say about them, their mind is always going to be stronger than their feelings. I look for somebody, what the fuck did he just, okay. You know how everybody pushes their skeletons in the closet? Man, I let them out every single day. Line up a shots of tequila, say, hey, let's figure this out. Because people only want to accept the good of them. In order to do extraordinary things, you have to accept all of you. You spend so much time pushing these things down, spending so much time pushing that stuff in the closet. When I have to deal with envy, jealous, greed, evil, all that stuff, I roll out of bed every morning and I shake their hands and say, what do you got for me today? Because they're not going anywhere. If they're not going anywhere, you might as well learn to use them. You might as well learn to use them. Instead of spending all that energy fighting them. There's no such thing as a perfect individual. Your greatest competitors are some of your nastiest people you will ever frickin' meet. Now, this isn't about being liked. I'm talking about competitiveness. I'm talking about survival. I'm talking about what these individuals do. You can't tell me when you bought this place that you haven't already checked out every single other resort out here. What can we do to make this thing better? How can we kill our competition? The instincts that keep you alive, what I call them the dark side. This isn't about vampires and Star Wars and all this other stuff. There's a dark side in every single individual in here that keeps you going when nothing else will. Your dark side kept you awake. I know you said it was a physical thing. Your dark side kept you awake. Because there was nothing else up there that could. There was another human being. You couldn't talk to nobody. You couldn't turn on a radio station. And the dark side is what's unique to you. It's what lights your own fire when nothing else will. It keeps you going when nothing else will. When you're at your utmost bitter end. Your dark side brought you back in that office at 9:30 every single frickin' morning. For you money guys in here, when you made that deal and it didn't work out, your dark side said, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. That's what I'm talking about, feelings and mind. Feelings keep you in bed, your mind gets you out of bed. Okay? Feelings, pain that hurts. Okay? Your mind, pain that alters. All right? Feelings, disappointment of regret. And that's the worst disappointment you can ever have. Is to say, when you're sitting 10 years from now, 20 years from now, having the regret of not doing what you wanted to do. She could be the president. Are you a U.S. citizen or a Canadian citizen? I got to ask now. United States. I got to check. She could become the president of the United States, become a multi-billionaire. Okay? Have kids that go to Harvard and MIT. All right? But if she didn't get on that fucking plane and do what she was going to do, that disappointment of regret, she would have never gotten over. Now, if she didn't make the flight and didn't get all the way there, disappointment of failure, you can get over. Feelings is stress. Your mind is pressure. And the only difference between pressure and stress, okay, stress is pressure you don't want to deal with. Did you say, who said that you have to do something every day that you don't want to do? Right there, yeah. Yeah, every day is something that scares you. All right? If you don't do that, stress, 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 stress. Okay? Feelings, holding on. Your feelings held you on to that phone number that you've been wanting to get rid of, or that individual for such a long time. Your mind allows you to let go. And what I love about all this, I've had so many people to give examples over here. All right? When his mind let go, his body took over. When his mind let go, his body took over. That's why he's sitting in this seat. That's why he's sitting in this seat. All right, I want everybody to stand up for a second. All right. Put your hands in the air. Turn around to right. All the way. All the way in a circle. Put your hands down. Put your hands back in the air. Turn around to the left. Put your hands down. This has got absolutely nothing to do with a speech. I was just fucking with everybody. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.